This video discusses the significant impact of a new $250 fee on U.S. tourist visas, implemented in July 2025, and its subsequent effects on the American tourism industry. The speaker argues that this seemingly small policy is strangling the nation's $1.9 trillion tourism industry, leading to a decline in international visitors, business closures, job losses, and a diminished multinational presence in cultural centers. The video highlights 10 American cities heavily reliant on tourism that are reportedly suffering due to this fee. Number 10, Tucson, Arizona. A deserted tourist hub. Tucson, Arizona, once a popular destination drawing hundreds of thousands of foreign visitors annually with its desert landscapes and sunshine, has seen a drastic decline in international tourism. In a short period, the number of international visitors decreased by 32%. Consequently, nearly 40% of local travel businesses have either temporarily suspended operations or reduced staff. For a city that heavily depends on foreign tourists, this decline is described as a bottomless pit. The primary reason for this downturn is the new $250 fee for U.S. tourist visas. For many visitors from South America, this fee is not just an inconvenience but a significant financial barrier. A local guide reported a severe drop in bookings. "I used to have over 100 international bookings every month. Now it's completely booked. The guests only have the neighboring states' people left." The policy, ironically named the integrity fee, is forcing many cities to lower service standards due to insufficient customer flow. The once bustling desert is now quiet, with small hotels experiencing empty rooms and innkeepers facing financial hardship. Number 9, Spokane, Washington. A labor crisis in the mountains. Spokane, Washington, known for its lush landscapes and as a destination for international tourists seeking relaxation and winter sports, is now facing a different kind of challenge. In the summer of 2025, the number of J-1 visa holders, international students who come for summer jobs, in Spokane decreased by as much as 40%, leading to a near absence of these seasonal workers. This shortage has dire consequences for the local tourism industry. Over 60% of small resorts in the region report a significant lack of staff, from housekeeping and kitchen personnel to receptionists. This staffing crisis has led to a decline in service quality, discouraging tourists. International visitor arrivals to Spokane have decreased by nearly 35%, according to the city's tourism association. The new visa fees have made working in the U.S. during the summer unviable for many international students and seasonal workers. A resort owner lamented, "We used to hire over 30 international students every summer. No, not a single application was approved. I folded the blankets myself, cleaned the room, and even worked at the front desk." The video likens this situation to a hospital without nurses, where the infrastructure exists but lacks life. Number 8, New Orleans, Louisiana. The silence of a cultural icon. New Orleans, the vibrant heart of American culture, famous for its jazz, Creole cuisine, French architecture, and street parades, is also feeling the impact. The French Quarter, once bustling with live music, is now quieter. Ticket sales for international festivals like the French Quarterfest and Congo Square Jazz Day are down by as much as 42%. International visitor numbers have decreased by 35% shortly after the visa integrity fee was implemented. The number of street performances with foreign audiences has nearly halved, according to the Louisiana Association of Performing Arts. While domestic American tourists still visit, the absence of international tourists is likened to losing half its soul, for a city that thrives on ethnic diversity. The increased cost of entry for many international tourists is cited as the reason. A jazz artist shared that performance times used to be split due to the abundance of musicians and audience members, but now, even if you want to play, there's no one left to stand with you. The video highlights that a significant portion of the city's budget comes from service taxes, accommodation, dining, and events. With declining tourism, the city's revenue and the livelihoods of hundreds of freelance artists, service staff, and tour drivers are drying up. New Orleans is portrayed as a trumpet that no one plays anymore, beautiful but silent. Number 7, Kansas City, Missouri. A World Cup without the world. Kansas City, preparing to host the 2026 World Cup with upgraded stadiums, new hotels, and adjusted infrastructure, is now facing an unexpected challenge: a lack of enthusiasm from international visitors. Preliminary data from Visit KC projects revenue losses of $220 million from international visitors during the World Cup season. Organizers reported that tour registrations from South America and Africa were 47% lower than expected. The $50 increase in the B2 visa fee caused groups of fans from countries not included in the visa waiver program to drop out. A person in charge of the promotional plan stated, "We had planned promotions for football fans in Brazil, Argentina, Nigeria, South Korea, but now we have to postpone them." Many tour companies in these countries have stopped selling travel packages because customers are unwilling to pay the extra fees. Kansas City, which invested hundreds of millions of dollars to improve its international image, is now facing the irony of a federal policy hindering international visitors. The video questions whether a World Cup can be considered truly global if the world is not properly invited. Number 6, Miami, Florida, the fading sunshine of tourism. Miami, a long-standing icon of American tourism known for its perpetual sunshine and bilingual environment, is experiencing a decline. Within just 3 months of the new visa fees implementation, the number of international visitors from Latin American countries, Miami's primary source of tourists, decreased by nearly 40%. This decline is visible in empty tables on South Beach and dimmer lights in once fully booked restaurants. Revenue in the service sector, particularly restaurants and hotels, fell by 20% to 35% depending on the region. This downturn is particularly hard after years of post-pandemic recovery. Some 5-star resorts that once welcomed guests in multiple languages are now quietly cutting back on translation teams and international staff. A restaurant owner shared that previously 90% of their customers were foreigners, but now only a few locals come on weekends and they don't order wine or dessert. The $50 visa fee, while seemingly small to the federal budget, is the difference between a fully booked week and an empty grill for coastal restaurants. Number 5, Orlando, Florida, the quiet dream of theme parks. Orlando, the city synonymous with the American family dream and magical theme park experiences, is also witnessing a decline in vibrancy. The proportion of J-1 visa employees, international students who work seasonally, in Orlando has decreased by as much as 50%. This is attributed to the $250 increase in the visa application fee, which led many exchange programs from Europe and Asia to withdraw from their summer 2025 plans. The consequences are felt in service cuts, limited operating hours for attractions, and even canceled shows, all during what should be peak tourist season. A roller coaster operator at Disneyland reported working extra shifts due to staff shortages, sometimes standing from morning until almost midnight. The video notes that simple pleasures like hot churros or characters walking through the crowd have become luxuries due to lack of staff. An entertainment icon, Orlando is depicted as slowing down in silence, with a machine running short-staffed and lacking warmth from around the world. Number 4, New York City, New York, the city that never sleeps, now quieter. New York, the city that never sleeps and a dream destination for many, is experiencing an unusual quietness, especially for tour groups on Saturday nights in Manhattan. Statistics from NYC & Company, the city's tourism promotion agency, show that the number of international visitors from countries not participating in the visa waiver program decreased by nearly 38% in the second quarter of this year, particularly guests from Asia and South America. These visitors, who often choose New York as their first destination in the U.S., are not disappearing due to a lack of interest but because visa costs are consuming their entire travel budget. A tour guide shared, "Previously, I led 2 to 3 Chinatown tours every day. Now, if we can get a group large enough to go during the week, we'll be happy." Losing international tourists means not only losing money from dinners, shopping, and souvenirs, but also the international acclaim that came so naturally. As international visitors decreased, the budget for global tourism promotion was also cut, creating a vicious cycle of fewer customers and a diminished budget. New York, once the gateway to America, is gradually closing itself off to the very world that helped it become prominent, now resembling a stage with a sparse audience. Number 3, Los Angeles, California. Hollywood's fading spotlight. Los Angeles, the city of lights, movies, and dreams, is also experiencing a shift. The number of international visitors from non-visa waiver countries decreased by over 41% in just 3 months since the $250 visa fee took effect. Tour companies in Hollywood are reporting a cancellation rate increase of up to 37%, particularly from the Asian market, where tourists often travel in large groups. Some small film studios have even temporarily suspended their studio tour programs due to lack of bookings. Los Angeles is losing not just tourists but also international dreams, as international film students are facing difficulties obtaining visas due to rising costs. Some film schools are reporting a nearly 20% decrease in applications from abroad. The video questions who will be the next generation to write global stories on screen if young talent cannot come. Hollywood still has stars, but it lacks the eager footsteps of those seeking fame, becoming an industry waiting for the lights to come back on. Number 2, San Francisco, California. The receding wave of global connection. San Francisco, a city of technology, startups, and a vibrant intersection of Asian, European, and American cultures, is seeing its wave recede. There are now empty rows of desks in classrooms, hastily closed Chinese shops, and brightly lit houses that no one enters. The F1 student visa and J1 exchange visa rates from Asian countries, particularly China, South Korea, and Vietnam, have significantly decreased since the additional $250 visa fee was implemented. Data from Bay Area universities shows that the number of new international students enrolling in 2025 is down by as much as 22%, especially in technology, engineering, and creative design fields. Furthermore, Chinatown, once bustling with tourists and the international community, has seen nearly 30% of independent restaurants close or temporarily suspend operations since May. A city built on global connections is losing its rhythm not due to a lack of potential, but due to the absence of international people. The technology industry is also feeling the void, with many small companies postponing international summer internship programs, a source of innovative human resources. The video laments that when young talent from abroad no longer arrives, new ideas also gradually become scarce in the boardroom. Number 1, Chicago, Illinois. A champion of opposition, now a victim. Chicago, a city of architecture, jazz, and vibrant summers, was the first to publicly oppose the integrity fee visa policy when it was announced. Ironically, after a few months of implementation, Chicago is now among the hardest hit cities. Data from the Illinois Restaurant and Lodging Association shows that bookings from international guests have decreased by as much as 44% compared to the same period last year. Architectural tours, a Chicago specialty, saw a nearly 50% drop in foreign visitors in just 2 summer months. Most notably, a series of summer cultural exchange programs had to be canceled because foreign partners were unable to bring students due to the high cost of visas. For Chicago, losing international tourists is not just about losing money but about losing connection and the soul of a city built by immigrants and sustained by a global presence. Chicago's early criticism of the new visa fee, arguing it would set back the tourism industry and erode the U.S. image, is now proving true, with the city itself serving as living proof of what they warned about. The video concludes by reiterating that the $250 visa fee, while perhaps small for the federal budget, has created very large gaps in local communities, leading to the disappearance of shared meals, multilingual laughter, and colorful summers. Tourism is presented not just as an economic sector but as the heartbeat of exchange, and a way for Americans to see themselves through the eyes of others. The speaker encourages viewers to share their thoughts on what will happen if international travel continues to be absent and policies are not adjusted.